All right, let's talk about something that could genuinely change how we all work. We're going to dive into a pretty radical idea for finding digital files, one that could save us all a ton of time and, a massive amount of frustration.
I mean, come on, who hasn't said this? You've been there. I've definitely been there. You're just staring at your screen, clicking through folder after folder, typing in every possible keyword you can think of. It's this raw, universal feeling that pretty much connects every single one of us who's ever worked in an office.
And here's the thing, it's not your fault. It's not a personal failure, it's a systemic one. Think about it, especially if you're the new person at a company. Your first day can feel like you've been dropped into this digital labyrinth with absolutely no map. How on earth are you supposed to find anything? So, to figure out a solution, we actually need to take a step back and look at a place that pretty much solved this exact problem centuries ago, the good old library. Just think about it for a second. Finding a book in a library, it's pretty straightforward, right? You can search by the title, the subject, the author. It's all in the catalog. And yeah, we have similar ways to search for digital files. File name, subject, the author's name. But here's the huge catch. On your first day at a new job, you probably don't know any of those things. And this is the absolute heart of the problem. If you're told, hey, go find the latest financial report, how in the world are you supposed to know that some guy named John Smith is the one who created it? You can't just guess a name you've literally never heard before. Okay, but here it is. This is the big aha moment. You might not know the individual person, right? But you absolutely know the type of person. You know a financial report is made by, well, a finance manager. And that one little piece of information, that's the key that unlocks this whole thing. So what do we do with this insight? Simple. We take something that every single company already has, the org chart, and we turn it into a powerhouse of a file discovery tool. Now, the inspiration for this actually comes from systems like the Dewey Decimal System that libraries use. It's just a really smart way to organize tons of information into a logical, coded structure. And we're basically going to do that exact same thing, but for people and their job titles. Okay, so how does this actually work? It's surprisingly simple. First, you just start with the company org chart. Then you give each department a number series. Let's say finance gets the 400s. A specific role, like finance manager, gets its own unique number inside that series, say 431.2. And here's the magic part. Every single time the person in that role, let's stick with John Smith, creates or even just touches a file, that file is automatically tagged with two things, the code 431.2 and the job title, finance manager. It all happens in the background. All right, so we have the theory. Now let's see how this whole thing actually works in the real world for someone on day one. So picture this. It's Luke Carter's first day. He needs to find that financial report. Now, the old way is just chaos, right? He's awkwardly asking random people, feeling totally lost. But with the new system, he just goes to the search bar and looks for files edited by the role finance manager. And boom, instantly, he sees that a guy named John Smith has been editing a bunch of files that look exactly like what he needs. And this is where you see the real human impact. Look at this message. Instead of sending a vague, hey, sorry to bother you, but kind of message, Luke can send a super targeted, informed note on Slack. He's not guessing anymore. He's using data. It's faster, it's way more efficient, and honestly, it's a heck of a lot less intimidating for everybody. So, what this all boils down to is this one number, 2. You now have 2 incredibly powerful new ways to find any file in the entire company. You can search by the job title itself, finance manager, or you can search by its unique code, 431.2. That's it. This basically unlocks everything. But believe it or not, this is really just the beginning. This system isn't just a neat trick for finding files today. It's about laying the groundwork for a much, much smarter digital workplace in the future. I mean, look at how this could evolve. On day one, you get that awesome role-based search, but a year from now, you could enrich this database. Maybe people start adding quick voice notes or a one-sentence summary to the files they work on. And in the future, well, this builds into a massive, searchable company brain. You could use AI, something called Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG for short, to ask it complex questions in just plain English. You could literally ask, hey, what were our main marketing takeaways last quarter? And get a real answer, pulled directly from the company's actual files. And maybe the best part? You don't have to throw everything out and start over. This isn't some massive, painful overhaul. It's just a smart layer that sits right on top of whatever you already use. Google Drive, Dropbox, you name it. And you can even go back and apply it to all your old files. No big deal. So I'll just leave you with this question. Just imagine, what if you never had to ask, where is that file, ever again? Imagine a workplace where all that anxiety about finding stuff just evaporates, where you can find what you need not because of who you know, but simply because of what you need to know. What would that really change for you?